Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing Alexander the Great. And we're seeing a hard time for Alexander. There are these three armies here of the Persians, and especially that one here, Darius' army, is simply big. I mean, it's simply very big, over 50 strength points. And then it actually becomes dangerous for Alexander to attack that. It also poses a threat for the much weaker army of Antipater. So that is also something the Macedonians should consider here. I realized a strange thing, and I'm not sure if that could be a mistake of the rules. It is written that a siege is only possible if you are in line of communications. It also says that the Macedonian line of communications should not be longer than 10 spaces from another treasure city that they control. And if you take a closer look now on the map, that becomes a real problem. Actually, it means that the only siege that the Macedonians could do in this situation would be over here in Ecbatana. And they can only do this by combining the line of communication with a naval line of communication. So they can do it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That works exactly to Pellas, and then from here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is possible, but there is no land, there is no way that the Macedonians can trace a line of communication only over land from Sardis, for example, to any other treasure city on the map. And I think that might be a mistake. It simply isn't possible. They cannot get to Damascus. They'll be close. I think it's 11 points, but not 10. And the others are even further out of reach. I don't think that that's supposed to be like this. I guess I'm not going to play it like that. That would mean I always have to follow the same pattern. There are no, or not many, well, I always have to start here and then work my way down here. I don't know if I like that. I think I would prefer to have some strategic choices here. If I want to go for Damascus first and then move down to Egypt and then take Persia, or the other way around, I think that would be much more interesting. And I can also see no historical necessity or something, or thematic necessity, why it should be exactly 10 spaces that allows you this line of communication when it comes to a siege. So I'm going to change that rule and simply say, as long as there is a direct connection, an unblocked connection to another treasure city, a siege is possible. It's going to be hard enough for Alexander to have some kind of a success here. And maybe actually I have to do it that way. I'm not sure yet. Okay, we see an admin phase here. It's interesting to know that the Persians are not allowed to be picked again, even if there is an admin phase in between. You cannot be 3 times in a row. There has to be another player in between. So now let's see, we can remove the fatigue markers. Oops. To try to replenish the treasures, let's start with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I think we need a 7 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he didn't make it. For the Persians, it's also not easy. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna try these. So I need a 4 or higher. And I made it. That is cool. So the Babylonian one is only depleted. And we also try this one here to fill the Median one. 1, 2, 3. We cannot use that one because it's in revolt. Ah, shit, we didn't make it. Well, at least one of them. Okay. I guess that's pretty much it. There's nothing else to remove here. Okay, the Macedonians, obviously. Now, here's the thing. I could either choose to retreat with Antipater, try to get out of the way so that Darius cannot attack me with his big army. But then I cannot recruit new forces for Alexander's army. Actually, I cannot move Darius' army because first I have to recruit forces to because Alexander's army is smaller than Darius' army. So we have to recruit forces here. And I also have to check how it works with the elite level if we recruit new forces. So let's see. We have... Wow, that was a very good roll for Alexander. He was lucky there. A 12. 12 new units. That brings his army to 30. And that was definitely very, very important for him. Well, I cannot find a rule for the elite level that it drops or something when you raise new units and add them to your army. So I'll leave it. And I'm gonna deplete the Macedonian treasury. Okay. Well, it's the Persians then. Oh no, it's well, let's see. Just another, and the Macedonians again. Well, now Alexander could try an attack against Darius. And I think it's what he wants to do. I mean, he has to face this army, otherwise it just cuts his line of communication. Yeah, I think there is no way around that. So yeah, I'm gonna move down here, but well, before I do that, I should have actually played a card. I should have also played a card in the last turn. Let's see, maybe we can play one now. Okay, I'm going to play a drought against Mesopotamia. Does that make sense? Hard to tell. Well, let me see. I think it's not bad because it means that Mesopotamia cannot be used to replenish treasuries until the next administrative phase, and that would weaken Babylonia and also Media. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play that card on that drought on Mesopotamia and then draw another card. And now that was the card of the last turn, and now I can basically play another card, and we got now a major campaign. That's interesting. So I could move 2 armies, 2 fleets, or 1 army and 1 fleet in this activation. This is a strange card, because it seems to me if I cannot move 2 fleets. Now I get it. I think I played that card wrong earlier on. The last time I played 2 armies and 2 fleets. Yeah, that should not be possible. Okay, so I can play 2 armies, 2 fleets, or 1 army and 1 fleet. Yeah, of course, that may somehow I didn't get that in the last time I played that card. Okay, I can now do I really want to do that at this point? Maybe not yet. Maybe it's not necessary. I might hold on to that card. So I think what I want to do is I simply want to attack Darius. I don't have any battle cards here. What about the Persians? Do they have some battle cards? Well, they do have the determined troops. Maybe that will be helpful. But we can do that later. Okay, so let's see. Alexander attacks. He can add 5 to the die roll, plus 4 for himself. So that means he can add 9. It's going to be hard for Darius. Okay, that's it. Wow. Wow, that sucked. That's only a 3. Plus 9, well, that still makes it 12. But that was not a great roll for Alexander. So that brings him now to exactly 12. That was bad. And if Darius rolls well, he might even win that battle. Okay, let's see. That could become a historical disaster in Aleppo for Alexander. Let's see what we roll here. That wasn't that great. That's a 6 plus 3. Well, that's a 9. That could be. That is also a 12. So again, it seems to be a draw. Alexander was very lucky here. Yeah, it's a draw once again. And we have to check for Persian casualties. It is possible now that Memnon will die. That would be very bad. Okay, now we got to roll again, and on a 5 or 6, Memnon will die. That would be pretty terrible for the Persians. And shit, yeah, he died. He was killed in battle. That was painful, because he is definitely the best leader that the Persians have. There he goes. Still, Alexander has to retreat, I guess, into that space then, because he cannot end his retreat here. And then we have to roll for battle losses. And I think I might play my determined troops now. This is played before your opponent determines his battle losses. When played, it represents your army having fought a decidedly vicious battle, and your opponent must add 1 to his loss die roll. Okay, so we both roll on as a victor. That means we can subtract 1. But that's pretty much it. So he's going to add 1 again. So it depends completely on that die roll now. And that's a 4, which isn't great for Alexander. He becomes battle fatigue and loses 5 units. Okay, well, that's painful. Darius also rolls, and he was more lucky. Well, he's basically even lower than 1, but he still loses 2 units. Okay. So that means that, we'll see here, a battle fatigue marker on Alexander. The war weariness goes up, so that is now actually on 10. We now need a second marker here. And then we roll for Alexander's injuries. That was good for Alexander. It's only a 5. I think that is no wound at all. Yep, 0 injury points here. The Persians play Aegis III, King of Sparta. When played, Sparta is automatically in revolt. Remove any GSP in Sparta plus any garrison in Crete. although Crete is not in revolt. Place the Spartan army with 5 ASP in Sparta. Once played, the card is removed from the game. So that means more problems for Alexander. These garrisons go away. We have the Spartans. Five ASP down here. In general, that's not such a big deal, but it will cost the Macedonian player a few more activations to stop that revolt there, and we got to play a revolt marker there, of course. I could take Hephaestion, move him somehow here and try to do some damage there, but he doesn't have any elite units, so it's not even clear that he will win that battle. I might give him a few more guys. Oh wow, this is all not looking that great. Anyway, first it's the Persians. And well, Darius might try to attack Alexander. He will probably try to escape then. I don't know if he really wants to face Darius when fatigued. But then again, Memnon is dead, so Darius isn't that dangerous anymore, so that's a hard choice. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna announce that I'm gonna use 3 points, so it's 1, 2, and I really wonder if I should stay there and fight or not. And I cannot decide that. I'm going to roll a die on a 1 to 3. I'm going to retreat, otherwise I'm going to fight. Okay, I'm going to stay. And it kind of makes sense, because if I retreat, then if I go in this direction, Darius can cut my supply. If I fall back, well, it doesn't really help me. So we see a battle. Alexander is still in the better position, but he's definitely weakened now. So he can add, well, 2 from his army plus 5, so he can add 7. Wow, okay, that's a lot. That's 17. That is the maximum possible. And he's then at, wait a minute, 25. So he's at 15 then. Yeah. Darius, he can add, well, only 1, I'm afraid. That's not that great. Oh boy, that's an 8. That brings him only to 11. So he loses that battle. He has to retreat. Let's see how far. 2 spaces. To Aleppo again. That's not too bad. That means if it comes to the losses, he has to add 1 for the retreat. I think that's pretty much it. Okay. Okay, that's a 5. That is a lot. So he's battle fatigue 2 and he loses 12 units. Shit. Okay. Now, we'll see now how heavy Alexander's losses are, because he's battle fatigued. Well, first we can subtract 1 because he's 1, but he has to add 2, so overall we have to add 1 to the die roll. Oh boy, there he was lucky. That's only a 2, so that means he only loses 1. That was a good battle for Alexander, no doubt here. Very, very lucky. Still, the war weariness goes up. That's a 7. That means the injury level also goes up. And it is now at 11. Macedonians again. Ooh. Well, they could say, okay, we try an admin phase. But I don't know. We could also raise more troops. Give some to Hephaestion and some to him. I realized one thing actually. I cheated, but now I can correct it. Alexander was out of supply during that battle. So he takes more losses actually. We have to add 2 to his losses. So that brings him to 3. So that means he loses... Wait a minute. He rolled... No, it's not that easy. He rolled a 1. So we had to add 1. So overall we have to add 3. So he loses actually 4 units. That means he loses 3 more. And that now brings him into trouble, because it means that his army is now smaller again than the second army. That means we have to raise again more troops. There is no doubt about that. And it's looking bad. Alexander is kind of stuck here in Malatia. We definitely have to bring him back into line of communications. Could move back or raise more troops. Well, actually, I think I have to raise more troops. Shit, I don't know. Yeah, I think I want to do that. That was okay, also not great. It's a 9. So, okay. So it's the Persians, and we take that army here, move 3 spaces, we move in here. That's an overrun. So the garrison is removed. And we leave one of our own guys in there. Then we move up here to Amida. And I'm considering also leaving a garrison there. and then I'm actually attacking him. The point of all that was, if I would have gone like this, for example, Alexander could simply have avoided us by moving into here, and now he has to avoid us moving back to Cappadocia. And he definitely wants to avoid us, because even if he probably wins the battle easily, the fatigueness will cause him probably quite some troop losses, and he wants to avoid that. Oh, that doesn't allow him an avoidance. It's not a 6. He can add his rating, which is a 4, to the die roll, but he needs a 6 then, and that is only a 5. So we will actually see a battle. I mean, the army of these guys is pretty small. It's only 18 units. Still, that might cause Alexander even more losses. Amazing. So they can add a 2 to the battle die roll. That's a 9. That's not so bad. It's an 11 overall. So that is a 9 then. Alexander can add... Well, let's see. Alexander has a problem. Alexander usually can add 5 plus 4. That would be a 9. He has to subtract 2 because of his battle fatigueness. And he has to subtract another 1 because he's out of line of communications. So that means he has to subtract 3. He can still add 6, and that is massive. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is pretty ridiculous. That is, again, a great roll. So he ends up with, I guess, with 16. But it's not double the number of the Persians. That's at least something. We have to retreat. The Persians have to retreat. Let's see how far. We can subtract 1. Oh boy, that's painful. That's a 5. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I'm going to retreat right into Ekbatana here. 6, so I have to add 5 to the movement points, or to the, yeah, I gotta add 5 to my battle loss roll. That is a 9. That's also the maximum possible, so I will lose 5 units. Well, okay. Let's see how many Alexander loses. He will definitely, I mean, we'll see about that now. So he has to, he can subtract 1, but he has to add 2, 4. So he has to add 3 to his die roll. That could be painful. And that's not good. That's a 7. Wow, that sucks. Oh shit, he loses actually 10 units. Yeah, he's definitely in trouble now, in a lot of trouble. There is no doubt about that. He's kind of caught here in the middle of nowhere with a fatigue army, and it's a very bad situation. I think the game is lost for him. So the war weariness goes up. We roll on the injury track. And wait a minute. Okay, he was lucky there. No additional injuries for him. Still, again he lost his troops. Again, he will not be allowed to move with other armies because the main army is not big enough. So again, he has to raise more troops and so on. This is all a very, very painful situation for him. So it's the Macedonians now. And well, I'm not sure what to do. I think I might again fall back. Bring Cappadocia under control. I need a garrison there. I forgot about that. So that I control this province. So that I'm no longer out of LOC. But then again, there is a risk that I will be attacked by Matsius while I'm battle fatigued. But that risk is there anyway. So I could, of course, also announce an admin phase, but then there is the risk that I'll be attacked by the large army when I'm out of LOC. So therefore I think I first want LOC. So I move back in here and I start placing some garrison here so that I won't forget that later on. And well, I might actually move up here and leave that garrison here. Maybe that's a little safer, and then I'm gonna move back down here. Okay. Although, well, you don't know. Well, hard to tell. Yeah, okay. So I think I'm gonna be fine here. And forgot to draw a card. I have to discard one now. Storms at sea. Well, there is not a lot going on at sea, so I think I can discard that one. And by the way, I got this card here, the Black Clytus card, which kind of protects Alexander against assassinations, and that can be pretty valuable. And the Persians again. And yeah, I mean, they might now actually try to attack Alexander up here with that small force here. That would bring Cilicia. Well, no, not as long as this garrison remains here. But I could do that. I could move up here and can attack Alexander. Push him a little further away. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move up here, and Alexander wants to retreat because of his battle fatigueness, and this time it's not a big deal. He can simply move up here, and well, we then stay there. Okay. Damn, I forgot again a card. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play that one. Persians increase training and tactics. So I can... The Persian player may increase the elite level by 1 of any one army that is at 2 or lower. So of course I'm gonna take the big army of Darius, which has now an elite level of 1. Okay, and we can draw another card. Or another chit, actually. So, there we are. We have, again, the Persians. That is a terrible situation for Alexander. It simply is. We can push him even further back now, but, well, I'm battle fatigued, so I cannot do that. I can move upward here, and yeah, I mean, why not? I might be able to recapture Cappadocia that way. Okay, well, we'll see the same thing again, and we come to the point where it actually, Alexander has to stop here, you know, if he goes further away, this is all getting more and more painful here. So, okay, I'm going to announce to move 2 spaces with this guy and move in here. And I don't know, I think on a 1 to 3 I'm going to try to is... Ah, damn, I really don't know. On a 1 or 2, I want to try to escape, otherwise I'm going to fight. Okay, I'm going to fight now. Although it might take losses, but I cannot run away all the time. I mean, I have to conquer a territory, and I cannot do that by running away. At least this time I'm in line of communications. So we roll first for the attacker. The army is not a big one. It's actually only 15 units. So that's a 6. We can add 1. And that means that's a 7. That's not a great roll. So that just brings me to a 10, to a 5. Not very impressive. Alexander, well, he's battle fatigue. So we have to subtract 2. That's pretty much it, but he can add 9, okay? So he can add 7 to the die roll. That's a 12. That's also not very impressive for him. He's got 20 units. So he has a 10, which is still good enough for a massive victory here. So then Matthäus has to retreat. Oh shit. Wow. That's a bad one. Okay, so shit. Six spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I might as well move to Babylon. It doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, I got to add 7 to the die roll of my losses, which is, I mean, it's the maximum anyway. So I'm at 15. I lose 5 units, okay. Well then, so be it. I got a battle fatigue marker on him. But, you know, I mean, we can replenish these armies. We have... now my second and my third army are in treasure cities. We can replenish them. We have Darius out in the field. It's looking good for the Persians. There is no doubt here. Now in addition I have to roll for the losses of Alexander. I mean, he can subtract 2 because of the great battle score. but he has also add to, let's see. Okay, he was very lucky here. It's a 1, so he only loses a single unit here. That was good for him, no doubt. And then he rose, well, but he takes another one here. He rose, oh wow, that was bad. 2 more injury points for him. So he's already at 13. And he gets worn out more and more. Wow, look at that shit he roll. That was the raising army roll of Alexander. A 4 with 3 dice. So first of all, it means that the treasure here is empty for 4 units. And he is just at 22. I'm afraid that's not enough. No, wait a minute. He's at 23. Yeah, that is enough. That makes his army now the biggest one, but just by a single unit. So, oh boy. He could pick another leader, and I think he wants to do that. No, come on. So yeah, I'm gonna place Craterus here with Antipater. Okay. And it's the Persians. Let's see what card we have here. Nothing of too much interest. That could be interesting though. Okay, well, I think at that point I also simply might consider raising troops. And by the way, there should be a battle fatigue marker on that army here, I guess. Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's get that. There we are. Okay, and this is the garrison for that. Fine. So, I could now raise troops for these 2 armies. That might make sense. Yeah, why not? Well, on the other hand, I might get attacked by Antipater. And I don't want that as long as I have that battle fatigue marker. So I think I'm actually preferring to do a... Yeah, I want to do a, administrative phase here. So all the battle fatigue markers go now away. We can try to replenish our treasures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, not enough to replenish that one. The treasury in Sardis remains empty. That sucks. What about Macedonia? That is 1, 2. That is also not enough. Holy shit. Now 1 to 3, Macedonia itself, but still it's not enough. We need a 7. So, yeah. Alexander also runs out of money. Now the Persians... Well, Well, let's start with that one. 1, 2. Oh, shit. Okay, let's say 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's fine. Let's take these 3. And that is enough. So that one is full again. The treasure of Ecbatana. And let's see, what about Babylonia? That not. But anyway, that's not so bad actually. Okay. And that drought is gone. And it's again the Persians. Holy shit. Now we will see an attack against Alexander with Darius. Hard to tell. Well, I think I prefer to raise more troops. I could play illness and injury. I could play that on Alexander. But that's not that great. I think I want to play it on Antipater. And if we have an odd number, Antipater dies. Sadly we don't. So he's removed from the game until the next administration phase. Now that could make an attack on his army more interesting for Darius. He might consider doing that. 1, 2, 3. Got 20. 22 units in there. So we're here. He still can add 4. Well, he can only add 3 actually, because Darius' army now also has an elite level of 1. So it's kind of tempting to do it. It really is. We have a much bigger army. So I think I want to try an attack against Craterus and his army as long as Antipater is ill. So that's a 1, 2, and then we can try an attack here. Craterus tries to move back, but he doesn't make it. So we see the battle now. We roll first with Darius. He can add 1 to the die roll. That was a very good one. That's a 10. So he has a 12, I think. Is that so? No, he doesn't. 1, 2, 3. He's at 43. So he's here. He's got an 11. What about Craterus? He can add 3. Oh shit, that's a 13. He's got 22. That's even a 12. That sucks. And I made a mistake. I think I had a good card here. No, that was just for a defender. I had the terrain advantage, but that was only good for the defender. So yeah, it seems like I will actually lose that battle, which is definitely a bad news for the Persians. Yeah. Is that so? Wait a minute. Yeah, I don't have a second leader here. Shit, that was a stupid mistake. Okay. Well, I mean, it was close. So that means I got to retreat. Gotta retreat. But actually Craterus might die. He had... he ended up here. So, we have to retreat 2 spaces, which is at least not that painful. That's kind of weird. Okay, I'm gonna move back. Let's see. So if I hang out here, I'm kind of safe of a counterattack of Alexander, or at least a little safer. So I'm gonna move in here. That will cost me 3 movement points. So I gotta add 2 to the result. Okay, that's a 5. That's not good. That's 8. I'm gonna lose 8 units here. Okay. That sucks. And I'm battle fatigued. Now what about the Macedonians? They can subtract 1, but that's pretty much it. Oh boy, that was a bad roll. So that's a 4. They're also battle fatigued. And it's a 12. So they lose, well, what? No, that's not true. It's 22. They lose also 4 units. Okay. So they're down to 18. Okay. And Craterus might die if we roll a 5 or 6. Well, that's not the case. Macedonians now. And at that point, Alexander might actually try to smash Darius' army. That army is battle fatigue. So it would take a lot of losses if Alexander now moves down here. And I think we're going to see that. Well, on the other hand, I mean, there's also now the way open here into Mesopotamia, Babylonia, but we got all these small armies here. It's hard to tell what we can do here. It really is. Okay, I think I'm going to roll the die again. And, well, on a 1 to 3, Alexander's going to attack Darius, try to do some heavy losses to his army. And on a 4 to 6, he moves toward, I don't know, maybe Ecbatana or Babylon. So, let's see. Okay, so he will move over there, hoping that Craterus' army will be able to prevent Darius from falling into Alexander's back. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could get up to here, Arbela. Yeah, let's do that. So it's 1. I'm going to leave a garrison there too. 2. Another garrison here at Malatia. 3. That's an overrun. Another garrison over there. 4, 5, 6, and I think I also want a garrison at Nineveh. This is then my last garrison. That's kind of a problem, but still, or I move only 5 spaces and remain at Nineveh. Yeah, I think I want to stay here for now, because then Spitamenes cannot move here, and the risk is lower that my treasury will be depleted. So I got a row now. I moved 2 spaces above, no, 1 space above my normal movement that would be allowed, so I'm still fine. And well, let's continue then. Okay, just 1 or 2 more turns. The Persians again, and they now... Well, it's interesting. I mean, they could... They could hire more units and try to strengthen their armies. Maybe they should do that. The Persians going to raise more units. They want to protect their treasure cities here. Even Susa is now in danger, where the royal family is. So that is definitely a threat. That was a very good roll. A 14. Now, I'm not sure, it's not written that all the units have to be placed on a single space. So I think I kind of want to distribute them. But we have to, I think we have to deplete that treasure here. But because all the other cities are in line of communications, we can place units there. So let's see, we definitely want, well, we got 14. Okay, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. Ah, boy. Okay. Let's see. A few more here, maybe there. That would be helpful. Okay. So I think I want 7 units here in Susa. As a garrison with the royal family, that the city won't surrender. In addition, we have 7 units left now. So we might bring both armies to 15. That would bring them exactly on that column here. It's not impressive, but Okay. There we go. Okay. So, let's do a last turn. The Macedonians. Okay. Now they could play a card. They have their major campaign. They might consider moving here. They cannot get there, that's the problem. Sea movement is risky because of roads. They might, I think they can get there. 1, 2. I think the interception range is 2 spaces. So that should be fine. They can move there. Ephesus, Chios, and then land here. Try to beat the Spartan army. So I don't think I want to play the campaign card right now. And then again, I have to play something. Otherwise, I have to discard a card. Okay. I'm going to play the major campaign. Bring this guy. Shit, he doesn't have an army. He should. Yeah, I think I'm... Yeah, I didn't place an army with him. So there he is. Well, I could risk to move to... Yeah, I'm going to risk it. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. That means I have to check if the treasury of Pellas will be empty too. If that would be the case, there would be no money left, but we'll see about that. Okay, it's not the case. So that means first the revolt marker is removed because we have 3 times the revolt rating of Greece, which is 2 in our army. And if you simply enter a region with 3 times the ASBs in your army, then the revolt rating, you're allowed to remove that thing. But still, I want to control Greece, there is no doubt here, so I have to defend that. I have to defeat this army here of the Spartans. Let's make an attack roll. We have only 7 units there with no elite level. I can add 1 for Hephaestion. Well, okay. That's an 8. With 7, that means we got a 4, a battle rating of 4. The other guy has only 5. He's got a 5. So that means he has... Wait, just a second. That's a 5, yeah. Okay, that's a 1. So he's the loser. He's got to retreat 3 spaces. Now that's kind of interesting. Yeah, he can retreat 1. I don't know. 2, 3. I guess he has to retreat here then. It's a little odd. Okay. Now we're going to roll for losses. So first the Spartans, they roll a 2, which isn't too terrible. They have to add 2, so that brings them to 4. So they lose only 1. I mean, this is kind of a problem, right? We can hunt these suckers through Greece. If we don't have a bigger army, it's going to be hard to completely erase them. Okay. Okay, they get a battle fatigue marker. Now that's kind of interesting. I mean, whatever. Let's see what the others do. Well, they have a 3, so they can subtract 1. So it's only a 2, so they don't lose any troops. Yeah, but that is also kind of a strange rule here. It's going to be very hard for me to get rid of these suckers here. Okay, I mean, I could hunt them. If I can hunt them into Illyria, they will have to use a lot of movement points. That might bring their losses maybe up a little bit, but still, I mean, they can really... If you take a look at these loss tables, it's really hard to reduce them once they are so low. Okay, we'll see now the movement of Alexander. And yeah, where is he going to go? I mean, we could try to take Susa, where the royal family is. That is definitely tempting. Problem is, in Susa and in Medea, the treasures are both empty. Here the treasure would be depleted. So I think on a 1 to 3 I march to Susa, try to capture the royal family. Otherwise I'm going to move to Babylon. Okay, Susa is my destination here, so let's move there. It's a little risky. If I go there, you know, there is the risk that the others will simply, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense, because if I move to Susania in that province here, as long as Babylonia and Medea is not under my control, I cannot even lay a siege on that city. So therefore, shit. Okay, I think, shit, now I don't have a garrison marker with me. Oh boy, that is so stupid. No garrisons. I could take that guy. I mean, technically it's not allowed, but if I take it with me, I mean, okay, I got this guy here in Nineveh, so I control at least Mesopotamia. Damn it. You know, the point is, if I lay siege on Medea, I'm in trouble. Because then the guy down here could move here to Nineveh and cut my line of supply. Well, actually, it's not that simple. Yes, it is. It is completely simple. It is exactly that simple. I need another army to protect me, and the only army I could see doing that is kind of trapped here. Wow. That is a painful situation. I don't know what to do. Maybe I should move against him. 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay, I think I actually have to defeat the army of Darius before I can move down here. I need this area clear so that Antipater can help me. Or that Craterus, Antipater is ill. Well, he's sick. Okay, so therefore I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to move through this Bailan pass. It's a risk, but I'm going to take it. In addition, I'm not even sure. I think I'm actually I'm actually out of supply there. Wow. This is all so bad. Okay, well, actually I'm not out of supply. I can trace a supply line here to Trebizond, because now I control Armenia because of that garrison in Amida, and then I can trace naval supply up to Pelas. Okay, that's fine. So I am actually in supply. That means I can now move here and attack Darius' army. He tries. First I have to roll a die and see if that treasure will be empty. And that's not the case. Then I'm going to try to avoid the battle with Darius. And I actually made it. Wow. I can retreat, to Aradus. And there are no movement points left for Alexander to follow me. So he ends up now here in Myriadus, and now he actually is out of supply. Because Cilicia is under control, oh no, actually he's not. These are uncontrolled provinces, and as long as they are uncontrolled, you're allowed to track a supply route through them, so we can go like this and then go here, and yeah, then we're fine. Are we? Yeah, we are, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to the sea, and then we can add a naval route. So yeah, we're basically fine here. Okay. You know what? I want to do the next chit pull, because if this is a Persian one, then the Persians can do an admin phase, can get rid of the fatigue marker, and it's looking better. If it's a Macedonian one, we'll see the battle, so that's important. And it is a Macedonian one. So they can draw another card. Oh. And now we will actually see a battle. I mean, Alexander says, okay, I want to spend, I don't know, let's say 4 movement points. That should be enough. Darius tries to escape. Well, he makes it for the first time. He moves down here. Alexander follows him. And he makes it again, holy shit. So he moves now here. Alexander follows. And it's now the third movement point. And Darius makes it again. That becomes a pretty ridiculous action now. And I don't want to move into that city, to be honest, because I could get trapped in there. Alexander is very good in besieging cities. He's got a +1 modifier here. Now it's interesting, Alexander could decide to take the city. And say, okay, fuck Darius. I mean, is he still in supply? I think he actually is. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the naval supply. Yeah, so he is in supply. So he could say, okay, we march in here, try to take Damascus. Now let's see if we can do a surrender here. The problem is, I announced that I'm going to move only 4 spaces. So let's see, we moved 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't have a movement point left. That means I cannot demand a surrender. Anyway, I can try to besiege the city in the following assault phase. So let's do so. We have a +1 modifier. And the city's defense rating is 0, so that's not too impressive. Do we have a card that helps us? I don't think so, actually. Nope. We can add 1. We can add 1. Okay, so we can add 2. Yep. Let's see. Ah, that was bad. Okay, that's a 4 or 5. Well, that's 1. So that wasn't too great. And it also means that there is a chance that we can cut him. Yeah, that we can cut the supply line here. That would mean that the siege would be lifted then. A lot of crazy stuff is going on in this game. Okay. So that's it. I think the video has become pretty long. So it's hard to tell. I think Alexander is not going to win that. Somewhere here I kind of lost control. It became pretty chaotic, and there are just too many problems going on. We have this shit here with the Spartan king, and that is strange. I mean, yeah, whatever. Well, okay, hard to tell. So, hope to see you in the next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.